All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I got another request, which is awesome, to talk about the Babadook. Mm. Which I don't know. I saw it a while. I saw it I think a year ago. It came out 2 years ago, right? It came out in 2014, I think. And it was pretty well fucking regarded, and people talk about it a lot. But there's somebody who had a few questions about it that they thought I might be able to answer, how spooky is it, and what's going on with it and stuff. So I might as well go and revisit the Babadook, right? So I did that last night, and yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty much the way I remember it. When I first saw it, I was kind of disappointed, honestly, because the trailers and all the press for it and stuff did a really good job of hiding the fact that it wasn't really so much the traditional spooky ass ghost movie that it was trying to make itself out to be. Because what the whole thing is it's about loss and fucking mental illness and shit like that, and kind of it's Fat Terry. She's here. But it's about loss and mental illness and shit. And it's all kind of wrapped up in the trappings of a ghost film, which is a fucking cool way to do it. There's definitely metaphorical connections between fucking people's memories and shit, and guilt, and a ghost that kills you and makes you crazy, does random weird shit. So that's cool, and that's pretty much what the fucking movie is about, essentially. But the way it got sold to me was it was about some fucking German expressionist ass ghost who comes out of a fucking pop-up book and just murders people, and I was super excited to see that. I was way more excited to see that movie than I was to see the movie that I actually got. No, the movie that I actually got I liked, and it is a fucking good movie. But I was totally blindsided by this whole plot, man, because it is fucking spooky, and all the ghost shit in it is spooky, and the creature design and stuff. It's super based on fucking shit from 1920s German expressionist films. He's got this whole Cabinet of Dr. Caligari look to him with fucking weird Nosferatu hands, and he lurks around and shit, and there's a whole bunch of weird fucking crap going on with him, and he's got a weird top hat and stuff, and that's the ghost monster guy, right? But what the movie's actually about is this little kid and his mom, and the little kid's dad dies, and his mom fucking goes crazy and starts doing a whole bunch of weird shit and goes full on The Shining on this guy, but and gets all murdery and fucking strange, and of course he's acting fucking weird because his mom's going crazy. But the whole a lot of the movie is fucking this little kid having problems and getting in trouble and getting yelled at by a super fucking intense mom who's just crying in the kitchen all the time, doing a bunch of weird shit, complaining to her friends, and that's a bummer, the whole movie is definitely a bummer. It's not other there's this thing about Australian and New Zealand cinema, right? It's I've noticed anyway, is from all the stuff I've watched from there, even super serious movies, they have a little bit of fucking dark humor in there, and it's awesome. You know what I mean? They're they somehow they figure out a way to kind of gallows it up and keep it light, right? Or not all the time, but fucking enough of the time to make that make a movie bearable. They're real good with interjecting humor in any fucking situation. And again, a lot of the stuff I've seen from those countries has been exploitation. It's been stuff fucking Turkey Shoot, Dead End Drive-In, excuse me. It was gross. But, Dead Lives from New Zealand, but it's a similar culture. It's not obviously it's not the fucking same country, right? But the histories of the places are they're kind of intertwined culturally a little bit. They're you know, like their cinema is similar, is what I'm trying to say. Like, obviously, Australia and New Zealand are two different places. Obviously, they have their own fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like, they each have their own distinct like cultures and, you know, histories and all that. But like cinematically, they kind of link up to each other a little bit. But it's weird because like fucking Babadook doesn't have any of that, man. It's a stone cold bummer all the way through, like the entire fucking movie. There's zero comedy relief. It's just like, it's intense and depressing and spooky, like when the ghost shit starts happening and like when the guy's mom goes crazy. It's fucking horrifyingly spooky. And it's awesome, right? But like other movies from there, like I'm thinking, I don't know, even shit like Wake and Fright, right? Which is a real intense fucking like spooky kind of adventure drama about like people trapped in like the Australian like outback and shit, you know, and like having like a real bad time and like being unable to like get back to civilization, and like they end up getting into all these weird masculine subcultures and getting all fucked up by it. You know, even that is funny at times, you know, like like it's got that fucking kind of I guess Oceania is the region. Like it's all kind of, it feels like the same kind of a sense of humor to me that goes on in there. Like all the Mad Max films have it, you know. Fucking everybody has, not this movie though. This movie is all the way fucking rotten like the entire time. But it's good. It's like, it keeps you on the edge, you know. Cinematically, they do a lot of stuff with lighting, like restricted camera angles that just makes stuff look like fucking like crazy. Like anytime stuff's from like the little kid's perspective, it's like got like a lower angle and shit, like on the just like on the framing, which is awesome. It's awesome to look at, you know. And like I like to think they leave some kind of ambiguity as to whether there's a ghost or not, which is kind of cool. Like other people I've talked to, they're like, nope, she's obviously crazy. You know what I mean? Like this guy's mom is obviously just freaking out, you know, and doing a whole bunch of bad shit. Because I'm not going to give away the ending, even though, like, it's been out for fucking like 2 years and whatever, you know, and I'm talking like a lot of shit about it. It's you know, if you haven't seen it and you're like watching this review because like you're kind of worried about like, do I want to spend my time on this? Is it going to be actually disturbing or whatever? You know, it is. But there's like this ambiguity, right? For me anyway. Like you can interpret this movie like maybe 3 ways, you know? It's either just about a crazy lady and her son, it's about a ghost who's driving people crazy, or it's about a crazy lady and her son and a fucking ghost. And I like that one. I like that one the best, right? Like if there's like, you know, because just because there's a crazy person doesn't necessarily mean there's not a ghost too. These things aren't like mutually exclusive, right? So, you know, like at the end, they leave it up to interpretation a little bit. I like to think so. Other people just kind of assume it's like full on just a mental illness movie. I like to think of it as, you know, definitely a movie about like grief and like getting mentally fucked up by things. And also there might be a fucking ghost in there, which is cool. So there might be like a little like, there's that spine-tingling little fucking supernatural shit that might be going on. Like, it's probably not, but it could be. You could definitely interpret it in like 1 of 3 ways, which is fucking awesome. It is a good movie though. Performances, like even the child actors are fucking like on point with their performances, which is good. You know, like everybody like those characters are well written. You know, they're not. It's like hard to write like kid characters and not have them be fucking like either annoying or just like overly spooky, you know. But they're like they get these guys pretty on point, to the point where they're fucking depressing and intense, but like they're, you know, actually like something you can watch and not be like horrified or annoyed by, you know. There is a dog in it, and I'm about to spoil if the dog dies or not. So if you guys want to know if the fucking dog dies, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna count down, right? Because, you know, oh man, I don't want to fucking ruin the movie, because like the fate of the dog is like maybe not like a huge part of the movie, but you know, it's enough of a fucking suspenseful little thing there to, like, you know, kind of keep you going for a while. So here we go. Are you ready? Here we are for the spoilers. It's 1, 2. I'm gonna count to 3. It's 1, 2, 3. The fucking dog dies, like, really hard. The dog gets fucking brutally murdered, and it's really, really sad and spooky as shit. But it's weird because, like, okay, I'm done. Like, I didn't want any, like, lip readers to find out if the fucking dog died or not. That you know, that was the mouth thing. But you know, I'm not gonna ruin it for you. I'm not gonna ruin the ending. It's pretty good. Once again, though, you got to be in the fucking right mood, right? Oh, that tea is gnarly. That's like one of those large iced tea bags, but it's just, and it's like tea espresso. Ugh. Sorry, but what the fuck was I gonna say now? Yeah, so movie's thoroughly spooky. Like they like the children's book they fucking came up with. Like it's like a little pop-up book about the Babadook, and they just like find it, right? And it's got like the whole like story and shit, and it freaks the little kid out. And she's fucking like reading the book and getting all scary about it, and fucking that is like real intense because it's got like that weird kind of gross like repetition and like, you know, kind of like mysterious like kind of folklore kind of a thing about it, you know. And that sticks with you, even if there's a ghost or not. The book is still fucking spooky, and if the guy's fucking mom like actually made this, then that's even spookier, you know. Like it's bad news. So, but yeah, like, okay, Babadook, I would give it a watch. Maybe not if you're like already super depressed, you know what I mean, or like having a bad time, or if you're like thoroughly already fucking like creeped out, like if you have like a long walk home in the dark or something from work, you know what I mean, and you're like just feeling like real gross and shit. Don't come in and like fucking pop in the Babadook and like just hope to go to sleep to that shit, because it's probably not going to work out too well for you. But yeah, like give it a watch. Give it a watch when you're in the right mood for it. When you want to alter your mood down from maybe like a super excited, like intense, happy mood, to kind of like even yourself out. You know what I mean? Babadook is where it's at for that. Okay, awesome. So this fucking request thing's been working out pretty well for me so far. You know, I've gotten a lot. Like, my one friend just hit me up with like fucking like 900 things to watch and like a comment. I'm probably gonna watch all of them. But yeah, if anybody has anything they want me to talk about, like movie related, or television related, honestly, I will be glad to watch that shit for you. I'll do a little review or just like a little discussion of it and like talk about it, so you can see if it's something you want to fucking check out or not. You know. Yeah, you can hit me up on Twitter. I'm gonna give you guys my Twitter information here. I'm way too lazy to fucking to actually do any editing this time. Like, I go to work in like an hour, you know. So there's not gonna be any like on-screen graphics or fucking around or anything like that. But I'm gonna figure out how I spell my Twitter name, and I'm gonna tell you guys, so you can maybe hit me up with some fucking requests on Twitter. You know, you can follow me. You know, do whatever. Okay. So here is my Twitter name is the Kuleshov Effect, but it's like, you know, it's like the name of this channel, right? It's the 4 O's and the E. You know, it's not like the guy. It's not like the infamous fucking like Russian film theorist. You know, it's supposed to sound like him, but like if a fucking 50s ass beatnik was like saying his name or something. Like, I don't know. I had a really hard time coming up with any of this fucking stuff, and it's at View or Die at twitter.com. So it's VEIWORDEI is that's how you shoot shit at me. You know what I mean? Or you can follow me, which is even cooler. And yeah, just like fucking hit me up about shit you might want to see, or leave it in the comments of a video. I'm gonna make a playlist out of these. It's just gonna be like something about like requests. You know, it's gonna be I don't know what to call it yet. You'll see it though if you come around my channel a lot. You'll get it. But yeah, like, you know, shoot a little thing into the comments, or, you know, follow me on Twitter. Hit me up on there. See if there's anything you want me to talk about. You know, if not, whatever. You know, subscribe to my channel. You know, all that awesome shit you say at the end of fucking YouTube videos. Like and subscribe. Woo! Anyway, so I'm fucking done. This has been me talking about the Babadook. Alright.